What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of the Dwarves, where I'm trying, anyways, to get ourselves moving here. I spent a little bit of time regenerating and trying to get some health back. Actually, you three stay the hell out of the way. This dude's kind of a anybody with a two-hander in this game is kind of a liability. Exactly. That right there. That's precisely what I was talking about. I didn't even tell him to do that. He did that all by himself and knocked somebody off a cliff into lava. Off a cliff into lava. I've lowered the difficulty too because frankly I'm just trying to get through the game at this point. And in all honesty, it's just like there are so many random little things wrong with the combat in this game. And I'm just like, you know what? I just want to experience the storyline, so screw it. I'm dropping it down to easy and we'll just keep trucking with that. I hope you don't mind. There's so many random little things with this game that you're just like facepalm. Facepalm. And you know what's weird is that it felt okay at the beginning of the game. It actually kind of just feels like it's the back end of the game that's really, really poorly balanced. Like in such a way that, I don't know, they just shouldn't have put friendly fire in this game is really what it came down to. The friendly fire, I think, is really kind of the factor that makes the game utterly unplayable on a lot of the maps. Because like that right there, that was one of his auto attacks. That was an auto attack. That was not an ability. He just auto attacked my own characters off a cliff. And it's just like, well, stuff like that. They tell you not to get surrounded, which means you have to form a battle line because you take bonus damage if you get surrounded. But if you're in a battle line, your guys are constantly friendly firing. So it just seems like the mechanics of the game are a little bit at odds with itself. Let's maybe go with somebody different this time around. Maybe I'll bring Rodario so that we don't have so many hammers laying around. Either way, though. Oh, Rodario started at full health. Interesting.
Yes?
Very, very interesting.
Sure.
Now I gotta decide how I want to do this, though. So with Rodario, he can turn into an orc, and then he can do the sting thing. He can also do flamethrower. Let's do flamethrower. I think flamethrower sounds dope. Yeah, buddy. There you go. It's all about that Rodario life. Oh, missed that one.
Makes sense.
Oh, well, here. You watch. Actually, no, don't watch his back. He's got flamethrower. He doesn't need to have his back watched. Alright, well, you become an orc then. Just hang out and be an orc for a minute. I'm gonna let her do her thing. You're over on this side. King Gandagar is doing his thing. Oh, did he get knocked out of his, I think he got knocked out of his disguise. On the plus side, she's got really good AP, even though she can only single target attack shit. It's like she can just cleave her way through, like, groups.
Makes sense.
Unless you accidentally hit your own guys with friendly fire. That one was my fault, but still. There we go. Let them burn for a minute.
This is going to be bloody. Yes.
What do you need?
Tungdill's looking a little bit better.
Well,
So maybe pull him and then put Tungdill in. So that I have at least some measure of control here. Where was she at? She's right there. Okay. Save a little bit of AP for the big dude because he's going to try and flatten you. Yeah, there's the knockdown right there, which was about what I expected. There you go. Just keep grunting and going. Bleh! She does have a beard, by the way. She took her helmet off, and she has braided, did you see that? She has braided sideburns. Like, yeah, that's the sexy dwarf look I was looking for. Female dwarves are supposed to have beards, okay? That's just the way this is supposed to work. Alright, you guys cleave your way through. Gandagar is looking a little rough, but if I can split people off here,
That was good training.
we should be alright. Meanwhile, Gandagar is getting his ass whooped. There you go. Get him out of the way. You start working on archers
Right away.
like yesterday. Gandagar, you fall back and let these two take over. Stop getting shot with arrows. Rodario, go chase down some archers. Alright, so we're in a little bit better shape right now. A little bit. I can't say we're in like amazing shape. but we're in okay shape.
Yes.
What is it?
There we go. Keep the king nice and protected here.
What do you need? Good plan.
Ugh.
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
If you guys have archers you want to kill, by all means, go smack up some archers. I don't even care. Like, what does this do? Gives him, for a short time, he deals double damage, King's Cleave, King's Blow. Yeah, use King's Blow on them. I am not a fan of archers. Not in the slightest. And as long as he can avoid falling off a cliff or doing anything else super dumb.
I need help over here, quickly.
Alright, so Tungdale's a little beat up.
On my way.
Have him push back out because she's in decent shape.
Well,
Kingman, please don't fall off a cliff right now. Oh goody, I can't see. There we go.
another victory.
Yes?
There we go. Another one bites the dust. How come that's not connecting? The game also seems to have serious issues with altitude and targeting, which is a little bit frustrating. I don't know if you saw that right there, but she missed like 3 attacks in a row where the enemy was definitely inside the AoE indicator.
I understand.
Definitely needs to be tightened up.
Understood. I understand.
Although it does look like arrows are actually hitting things now instead of being fired through walls, so maybe that got patched too. I know they patched the game a day or two ago, and I know it feels like I've been complaining about it, but it's like there are a lot of really broken things in this game that need to be seen to.
Understood. On my way.
And go punish that archer for being a bag of dicks and just messing with us this whole time. There you go. Bring the whole party up, and they can rest on the crest of the hill. Rest on the crest on the best of the hill. We don't actually have that much more left to go. Like, this shouldn't be that bad.
Yes.
I don't know who I should send in first. It seems like Belindis is the way to go.
Good plan.
Man, she just love taps everybody to death, don't she? Get that one. Yeah, there you go.
Yet lost. Good plan.
Stomp that one out. Now you fall back because you've taken some damage. Where Dario's getting pelted in the face, but it should be fine.
Well,
Give him a nice old king smash.
I understand. Yes. Yes. Girdle guard is
There we
ours.
go. So those guys are down.
Well,
Now that we got rid of the big dude, it actually should be fairly easy to get over there. Some bigger orcs. But I think if we just take them like one step at a time, we should be solid.
for Brackers at once. On my way.
It's a little bit terrifying to be in here with Gandigar when he's got that big cleave. That shit tends to worry me.
Die. Huh? Well,
There you go. Perfect. It does do a lot of damage, though. I mean, the ability hits, that's for sure. There goes that enemy right there.
end it.
Alright, so
Understood.
you go chase down archers while he's dealing with the other stuff.
Understood.
Every archer we get rid of represents a fat chunk of the enemy's army's DPS gone. Because the archers are just like, they hit really, really hard. When they connect, it's bad for you. It's bad for everybody involved. Alright, so everybody over here. We got Gandigar, Belindis, we'll need you too.
Huh? On my way. Die. Yaha!
Yeah, just kill him however you see fit. Just have fun with it. Portal!
It won't open.
It's about time for a plan, scholar!
Enough! The time has come!
Not on.
Open the gate. I'll hold him off for as long as I can.
Back, you maggots! They belong to me!
Isn't not on. It's
Radaria.
It makes no difference. The gate is bolted shut.
Later! Get inside!
Who's that big bad Mama Jamma? Who's that dude? We ain't ever seen him before.
You recognize the dwarf standing in front of you in shimmering armor, because you have seen his features more than once, wrought in gold and vercassium and flaunted on the walls on your way through the kingdom of the Fifthlings. Giselbert Ironeye, the progenitor of the Fifthlings.
Welcome, whoever you may be. I hope your coming is a good omen.
You look at the 10 dwarves with their pale faces and eyes that seem slightly vacant, as if they were in a trance. They are wearing wonderfully crafted armor, and the resolve that Vrakas gave his people can be read in each and every face.
It really is you, isn't it?
We are the last of the Fifthling clan. We have defied the hordes of evil since the downfall of my realm. We fell against the Elfar and were brought back to life by the perished land, but instead of serving it, we fought against it. We are rather hard to defeat, and each of my men has slain more monsters than any other dwarf before them. But such victories are a meager consolation after such a loss.
I thank you for your help. Without you, we would have been finished.
Those creatures were content to just watch us for an age, but for the last few orbits, they have been trying to take the forge. I dare say the change has something to do with your wee band, eh?
We are representatives of the Firstlings, the Secondlings, and the Fourthlings, accompanied by the Maga, Andakai the Tempestuous, and friends. It's grim for Girdlegard. The magical barriers that kept the Perish land in check for centuries are destroyed. A Magus by the name of Nod On controls the magic, and he can't be killed. Not with any ordinary weapon.
the Dragonfire Forge. Can we light it?
No.
But it's the only place where we can forge Keenfire. The only weapon that can defeat Nodon.
The furnace cannot be lit because it never went out. We defended it against invaders from the beginning. It is burning as hot and bright as ever. Vrakas must have known we would need it again one day. Now, rest. The gates will not fall. We'll see to that. Permit yourselves as much sleep as you need, and then we will get to work.
To work. Hooray, we survived another combat. Yeah, I just put the game on easy because I just want to see the storyline resolved at this point. It's funny because, like, the game has such a good storyline and the production values are so good, but there's so many little things with the combat that are just like, ugh, I just want to get to the next storyline part. Like, I don't know how to say it other than that. Like, I'd probably give the game like a solid 6.57 out of 10, like, because the combat things really, really need to be resolved since combat weighs so heavy on the game. But the storyline's dope. Storyline and the art design is incredible. Let's see. Can I talk to people? Oh, I can. I can talk to all kinds of people. Well, then let's have conversations.
The sight of the undead dwarves who saved you makes you feel melancholy. You knew there were no living fifthlings left, but the fact that they had spent the last 1,000 cycles as undead makes this truth even more painful.
Do their beards fall off, though? Because that's the important part. Like, you can be undead without your beard falling off, and it's okay.
You are very thorough, Honorable Maga. I should have asked the orc to hit me on the mouth so that you could have kissed me back into the world.
Fair damsels only kiss brave warriors.
An actor can be many things, including a warrior.
That is true, but your privates have fought so many battles throughout the land that I couldn't trust that their bearer wouldn't switch sides as soon as an opportunity arises. Stick with the women who adore you, actor.
You smirk. It would seem that Rodario is in good health. You don't need to worry about him.
Well, if you can't look after your Winky, what can you look after? It's a dude thing.
You have traveled far with Jaroon, but you still don't know what is hidden behind the mask. The longer you look at him, the more you believe you can see a weak glow behind the steel face.
I always just figured he was a golem, or like some kind of Death Knight thing.
You're wondering what is hidden behind the mask.
You sound as though you know.
When I was little, my mother told me about a being, the king of all creatures of Tion and Samusin. It wrestles with the strong and destroys the weak and incapable. His eyes are said to glow blue-violet, and the sight of him is enough to scare off the weakest. All fear him, the son of Samusin.
You aren't sure whether the Maga is joking with you. Would she really travel with the son of her god? The Maga leaves you with a meaningful smile.
You seem depressed. Should we let a couple of orcs through the gate?
You expect a quick retort, but Boindale says nothing for quite a while.
I have been thinking about what Vracus's vision might have been when he brought together so many different people. Each has contributed towards the forging of Keenfire. We would never have set off without you. We couldn't make it without the craftsmen. We wouldn't have made it through all the orcs without the actors. And finally, the pointy ear will wield Keenfire against evil. We're the best group for this expedition. The only group who can do it.
You have forgotten yourself and your brother. You forged a way through row upon row of our foes where others would have given up.
Boindale gives you a nod, already half lost in his thoughts again. As you approach Namora, she is lost in thought, massaging her wrists. She contributed a bracelet made of teonium to complete the unusual alloy needed for Keenfire.
The bracelet was a present from my mother to protect me from the powers of good. Well, as it would seem, I am on the other side now. I've no use for it.
Hopefully you won't become too good. Keenfire can only be wielded by a foe of the dwarves.
You smile at her encouragingly, and she reciprocates your glance. Both of you know that the Alfar will always be enemies of the dwarves.
Why would you make your prophetic weapon only wieldable by an enemy of your race? This seems like a tremendous oversight on the part of the ancient dwarf prophets. This is problematic. At least Goimgar, whatever his name is, the jewel guy, got killed. I don't like him none. That dude's a punk.
Tungdil, I must ask you for a favor. When you get out of here, let Boindle know that I forgive him for what he did.
He won't believe me. You should tell him yourself.
The time is not right. Just tell him I understood that he loved my sister just as much as I did. I hated losing her, so I also hated the one who wielded the axe. But I don't want to die hating him.
Your confused expression prompts the stonemason to continue.
I set off to look for a glorious end to life. The time has come. I will stay here and cover you so you can get away.
You don't like the idea of leaving another of your companions behind. You want to change his mind, but he doesn't let you speak.
Don't try to change my mind. I made my decision several orbits ago. Thank you for allowing me to prove my worth, Tungdil Goldhand.
See, the storyline is so good. Like, I love the storyline, and I love the dialogue, and I love the character design, and the armor, and the world, and everything. But it's just like the combat is so bad. It's so bad by comparison to everything else being so awesome. And I guess it's not like so bad. I might be overstating it, but it's just got too many flaws to be redeemable. They're all fixable. They're definitely patchable and fixable. And then the game would be fantastic. But like at the point a game goes out at 1.0, I expect it to be feature complete. That if it's 1.0, that means you can judge everything by your first playthrough. If it's 1.0, all the patches after that fact, that's not going to sway, you know, the general public's mind about the game. Like, that's like one of the things about this game, though. It's so weird. It really sincerely is, because it's rare that you see a game where the production values are so good in one aspect, but like another area of the game is really, really suspect. It doesn't happen very often. Like, I play a lot of video games here on the internet, and it just doesn't occur very often. And so that's what really takes me by surprise, is that, like, I want to play this game. I want to go further and see the storyline. It's just every time I hit combat, I just kind of roll my eyes, and I'm like, all right, let's get through this. I don't know. This is a rare feeling for me, and I'm not really sure how to express it.
He stood against the orc without hesitation, even though he knew he was no match for it.
I was happy when you chose Goemgar, because I thought I knew how much of an artist and how little of a dwarf he was. But he proved that he was more of a dwarf than I reckoned.
What will you do when this is over? Do you still plan to go to war against the elves?
The elves' betrayal is absolute. They are to blame for the destruction of the Fifthlings, and for the death of my father and my brother. I will never be able to forgive them.
There was no betrayal by the elves. I am Glandolin Hammerstrike of the Clan of the Striking Hammers, and I, unlike you, was present on that dark day as the stone gateway fell through the betrayal of a dwarf.
A dwarf?
It was Glandolin Strongarm of the Clan of the Strong Arms who uttered the incantation for the first time and unlocked the gate. He surrendered our land to their hordes. He was the one who showed the Elfar a secret path into our tunnels, so they could attack us from behind and poison us. We were struck down with a mysterious fever.
I don't understand.
He was a thirdling, a dwarf killer, who stole into our clan and masked himself as one of us to bring about our downfall. He died at my hand, but he rose again at the power of the perished land and uttered the secret words a second time.
Did you hear that? It wasn't the elves, it was a dwarf. How much do you believe in Bislapur and his proof now when there's a dwarf standing here who was witness to it?
It's a rough one. Even if the elves' betrayal was true, the call of a leader or a king, even if your family members ended up dead in a betrayal, would you send other people's family members to die in order to avenge your personal family grudge? It's a tough call. Believe me, I'm a vengeful person. When people get at me, I want to get right back at them. I'm a fighter. I always have been. But it's one of those things where as a leader, you've got a higher call. And sometimes you got to let shit slide that would be completely unacceptable for anybody else for the betterment of your people.
You look at Balandis's sweaty skin, her muscles, and her hair. When you become aware of what you are doing, you stammer.
Can I help in any way?
I think the knot is coming in.
She indicates to her back with a short nod of her head. She smiles at you radiantly.
Thank you for your help.
You feel you're melting in her smile, like steel in the forge.
Of course, you're welcome.
They did a good job with the female character design too. In all honesty, a lot of the times you have a lot of female dwarf characters in MMOs and things like that like cross the. They're in the uncanny valley. Like they've got the beards and everything, and it just makes them look really, really weird. But suffice it to say, they did an okay job, like, making her attractive, even though she's got, like, facial hair and stuff. It's like, how do you do that as an artist? Like, your boss tells you to sit down, he's like, listen, I want you to make a female dwarf, and she's gonna have a beard, but you still gotta make her, like, attractive within the world to other dwarves. So she's definitely gotta look feminine, but she's gotta have a beard. You're like, okay. Well, guess it's time to browse around on 4chan and see what kind of inspiration I can find here.
The Magister Technicus looks up from his work.
Ah, Tungil, look what I found. Here, There are narrow steps on the walls of the chimney, and if you look right up to the top, you can see the blue of the sky.
Very good. That could be our way out once Keenfire is finished. King Giselbert Ironeye. I still can't believe that I've met you in person.
My time passed long ago. Do people still talk about me?
You think for a moment about how to answer. Many blame the Fifthlings, and thus their progenitor, for the extent the Perish land has advanced.
Your name is not forgotten.
The nod of the king's head is barely noticeable.
The beasts are preparing to attack.
You look at the solid iron doors and their fittings, which are protected by the runes of Ruckus.
Didn't you say the furnace is safe?
Long enough. We will hold the gates for as long as necessary, at any cost. But you must be aware of what awaits us.
Keep them at bay until we have forged the axe.
Oh, we're going into a fight. Okay, well, I'll stop the episode here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me for the next episode of The Dwarves. I will see you all in the upcoming episodes. I hope you've been enjoying it so far. Please don't take my critique as complaint, because there are definitely, if you play the game for yourself, there are definitely little things that will annoy you in combat, like enemies being inside the AoE thing but not getting hit, but you still get charged your AP. People outside the AoE thing getting hit by AoEs that you light off. You know, there are a lot of little things in this game that bug me, but they're all in combat. The rest of the game is utterly fantastic, and so that's where I think a large amount of my just like, comes from. My name is Splattercat. I'll see y'all next time with the Dwarves. Hi, do everybody.